City. So, a bit of a return for Mamelodi Sundowns, where they'll try not only to avenge that defeat, their only defeat in the Betway Premiership, but also the Carling knockout loss against Magesi FC. I think the Polokwane sides have something in their blood that Mamelodi Sundowns find indigestible, if I can put it that way. But they have an opportunity to really make it count, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. The all blue-clad Magesi then get the match underway. They will attack the goal to the right-hand side of your screen. Mamelodi Sundowns in the yellow and white strip will play from right to left during the course of the first half. Well, Brian Mate, I suppose it's who settles down quickest and who takes the opportunities when you came up. You were mentioning downstairs that during the cup final it was Magesi who had very few opportunities, but the opportunities that they had, they took them with both hands, Brian.
That's what you do. When that opportunity presents itself, you've got to be able to grab that opportunity. It's got to be a different ball game. They're up against a team that has got that winning mentality, turning things around. That's Mamelodi Sundowns. It's a different ball game.
This is another great opportunity for Mamelodi Sundowns to extend their lead over Orlando Pirates, who are meant to be in action tomorrow. 3 points already ahead of the Buccaneers. Mamelodi Sundowns with the same amount of points. Beg your pardon, same amount of matches played. Slightly bigger goal difference for Mamelodi Sundowns as well. But we saw news coming through the press release from the Premier Soccer League that Royal AM won't be playing that match against Orlando Pirates tomorrow. They won't be playing in the Nedbank Cup either against Milford FC over the coming couple of Nedbank Cup days. And until further notice, Royal AM aren't playing football. And that gives an opportunity for Mamelodi Sundowns to stretch their lead at the top of the table to 6 points with a victory today. Magesi have an opportunity to get out of the relegation zone with a victory and do the double in the season over Mamelodi Sundowns, as Peter Shalolile, the Namibian international, picks up a pass to Deboka Mokoena as well. Movement there from Spilele Mkulise. Well acquired to this part of the world, having played at Lidodaduva Black Leopards. This man has made his intentions very clear at the start of the season. His name's Molibongwe Khoza. He's only 20 years old. He's come through the junior ranks. Starts for the 6th time in the Betway Premiership. Shalulile, nicely read in the middle of the park, though, by Magesi. They're going to have to be switched on defensively on Magesi and then take opportunities. Not the greatest passes from Wonderboy Makubu, another former Sekhukhune United player. And Brian, it looks as if Magesi have gone into some sort of agreement with Sekhukhune United and Mqedi Vandala, a former Magesi player, but he went to Sekhukhune United. Well, he's in the starting lineup here for Magesi tonight. Cameron Ashby is a 23-year-old midfielder from Sekhukhune United. He's on the bench. And Lekhlonaholo Mshali, former Pirates and Cosmos player. I think he played for All Stars as well. Another former Sekhukhune United player. He's on the bench as a holding midfielder and potentially would play his first match for the Motsepe Foundation Championship winners from last season. Incredibly as well, we got the NFD champions against the Premier League champions from last season up against each other.
You have a Magesi team already. They've got a trophy in the back, but that's gone. Now it's a question of surviving and being part of the Betway the next season, and that starts with this sort of games where they're up against a team that have got the insatiable appetite to win, and they've got to do better.
I guess you will have some defending to do. More powerful Mamelodi Sundowns team. We spoke about the 6 changes that were made between the Richards Bay FC matches. Mamelodi Sundowns play league football for the first time in 2025.
Skillful defender. Ole Samata always create problems for defenders. Potential goal scorer, supplier as well.
completely different fortunes for Magesi FC and Mamelodi Sundowns since that cup final, because since the cup final on the 23rd of November in domestic competition, Magesi's played 6 times, 5 losses and a draw. Only 1 goal that they scored. That is Kokora against Marumo Gallants on the 7th of December. And 8 goals conceded, which is not great by any stretch of the imagination. They found themselves bottom of the table with only 7 points and a -9 goal difference. They do have a free kick here, though. Paul nowhere near Wonderboy Makubu. To the contrary of that, Mamelodi Sundowns, since the cup final, have played 4, won 4, scored 7, conceded nothing. In the Betway Premiership, that is.
Yes, serial winners.
And it's unbelievable. Just the difference between the two sides is incredible. Top versus bottom on the table. The statistics tell their own story. And yet, the only victory between the two sides has gone to the side fresh from the First Division. And quite honestly, have kept the majority of their First Division team for this Premier League campaign. And so I suppose in some respects, although the bottom of the log, one has to give some credit there.
Well, Coach Miguel talks about the work ethic of these players, how they've made his work very easy in terms of their maturity, their discipline. And this man will always be a targeted player, Lende. Good set of skill there. That's a late challenge.
A couple of late challenges. Delano Abrahams with a late challenge. Sepa Kokora with a late challenge. The 26-year-old Chepo Kokora, along with Abrahams, who scored the goals against Mamelodi Sundowns in that cup final down in Bloemfontein. And a familiar figure in amongst the Mamelodi Sundowns supporter. And if you didn't know who he is, his name's Botha, the well-travelled and highly knowledgeable football supporter. Not only football supporter, he pops up at rugby, pops up at cricket. He really does love his sport. He's got some Voyager miles behind his back as well, doesn't he?
And then there's a season where he goes on sabbatical.
Just like that.
Just like that. Have you ever heard of a friend that goes on
sabbatical? No.
That's him.
Ikram Rainer's fabulous season for him so far. He's the leading goal scorer in all competitions with 10 goals, but 6 in the Betway Premiership.
Seven minutes into it, if you're a Magesi fan, you're thinking, we've had a good start. We haven't been put under pressure. We are able to punch as well. They've got to calculate, though, in terms of their moves.
Ball forward by Swandile Buthelezi, who only starts for the 4th time as the preferred centre-back pairing was Limbikane Mzava, and then Tsepa Makgoga. Makgoga's played 4 times, then Mzava had played 6 times in the starting lineup, but there's a number of players that have been released. Teboka Mokoena looking for an opportunity. Space for Reiners. Second bite of the cherry for Reiners. It's a really solid piece of defending from Magesi. They needed to be switched on and not to panic. And it's absolutely brilliantly done by Buthelezi. Maybe the best opportunities for Magesi are on the counter. Caden Rodemeyer, former player from NB La Masia, relegated from the Motsepe Foundation Championship at the end of last season. Divine Lunga, Zimbabwean left back, former Sundowns player before he went and had a spell at Abafana Bestende. Kulisa Mudau, 29-year-old, former Magesi player before he went to Black Leopards, now with the Giant side. Sundowns, he's a really top player, isn't he?
Oh, that hurts when you get the thigh poked by that knee. That hurts. Trust me. Hope it's not too serious. Offers a lot from an attack-minded situation, but equally they have him, very versatile. That's Morena. Can play right back, but then again, you can have him playing as a number 9 if he wants to, or if the coach decides to do that.
Dennis Onyengo playing in goals today, as he did in the match against Richards Bay FC. And the reason for that was the previous match to the Richards Bay FC match was against AmaZulu. And Ronwen Williams got sent off for denying an opportunity, an opponent a goal-scoring opportunity. So it was a dogzo. Sent off was Williams, and he's serving the second of his 2 substitutions, allowing the 39-year-old Ugandan goalkeeper an opportunity to play consecutive encounters in Mamelodi Sundowns for the Betway Premiership.
The depth in the squad, Sundowns, Jody February being another option for them.
Mokoena consolidating the midfield. 10 minutes played. We haven't had a shot on target yet. We haven't really had the trigger pulled, but Rainer's got himself into a nice position a little bit earlier on, and so has Peter Shalulile. So far, Magesi have been able to keep it tidy at the back, and as I said, at this early stage under their new coach, there's an opportunity for a shot here. The offside flag had gone up long time ago, so that wouldn't have counted if it had gone in. Assistant referee Lalelani Ngadi denying Shalulile.
Good shot passing game in the box. Very composed. That's what they always do, Sundowns. Most of the goals, they're able to whack the ball in the opponent's box.
Taking his time and getting the ball back into play. Elvis Chipazeze, the captain of the Magesi side, and what a legend he's turned out to be, not only as far as the Motsepe Foundation Championship season last campaign, but in the Premier League this time around, and in the cup competition as well, the Carling knockout. He's been absolutely superb. Won a couple of player of the match accolades, along with the $100,000 that went with it. Good ball into the area. Makubu at the near post. Magesi do exactly what they were hoping. They score early. It's only his 3rd goal of the season, but wow, what a goal that is from the 28-year-old former Sekakuni United striker. Wonderboy Makubu scores for Magesi.
We're allowed to call it a wonder goal, right?
Absolutely.
Wonder goal because of the ingredients that comes with it. It tastes so nice. And you can tell they're in a Bosberat Sundowns because they never expected this. But when you're up against a team whose backs are against the wall, they have to do something. They've got to be clinical in what they do. And you look at that man, Wonderboy, he lines himself up in anticipation of something about to happen. He gets a good delivery. He gets it on target in terms of the header. No chance for that Sundowns defense. Lisekazini. It's a great header onto the near post. No chance.
Yeah, Grant Kekana caught behind the attack. He moved just too late to cover Wonderboy Makubu. But the problem started when Malibongwe Khoza gave the ball back on that left-hand side to Caden Rademacher. Magesi scored within the opening 12 minutes, potentially against a run of play as well. But that's the game of football. And Magesi are showing no respect for the giants of South African football. Only the 5th goal conceded in the Betway Premiership from Mamelodi Sundowns, so plus 17 goal difference, the same as Orlando Pirates. And spoke about Magesi a little bit earlier on, and Magesi with the victory tonight, and I know it's premature to talk about victory at the moment, but they're going to double figures and send 2 KwaZulu-Natal sides to the bottom of the table. Royal AM would beat bottom, Richards Bay FC in the playoffs, and Magesi with a minus 8 goal difference would be in 14th position. Elvis Chipazeze, and suddenly one feels a lift at the old Peter Makaba Stadium, and the Magesi supporters certainly feeling a little bit more chirpy at the moment.
I like what Coach Owen Tagama said about his players. He says, well, we've got a young team, but we've got to go out there and compete. And that's exactly what they've been doing.
Claire Vandala, 29-year-old. We have a substitution here. There was a bit of a niggle for Kholusi Madane. He has been sort of roughed up a little bit and clipped on the ankles a few times by the players on the left-hand side like Rademacher and company, John McConey, and he's been substituted early on here. No better player to take his place than the 31-year-old former Celtic defender, Tapela Morena. Comes on for his 11th appearance in the season, 4th time as a substitute. He's quite a regular in the starting lineup. Reyners, Kakora on point. Nothing wrong with the challenge, says Mr. Mdluli. No coach wants to make substitutions as early as what has been done, and a bit of physicality there on the player returning to Magesi from Sekhukhune United, and Mqedi Vandala.
Easy to realign the team when you've got the depth and versatile players. Morena, you can have him playing as a centre forward, you can have him playing as a winger. Now he is playing as a fullback.
Well, that could be almost an own goal. It's a great recovery. The ball pretty nearly landing in front of Ikram Reyners, and he knows exactly what to do with it. Didn't reach him on that occasion. Desperate defence from Makoni and Buthelezi. No save required from Chipesezi. Sundowns have a corner.
They're very vocal. You can tell from how they're trying to organize the defence. Mukoni, very instrumental in getting that defence organized.
Mokoena looking for the return. It's a lovely ball to the near post. It nearly falls for Alente from Ribeiro. Dylan Mekwa, former Maritzburg United and Ajax Cape Town player, starts for the 10th time tonight, as does Samuel Dapo. A couple of players already in double figures: Elvis Chipeseze, Lechenhoa Makoni, John McConey, Tipa Kakora, Wonderboy Makubu, all in double figures already before the match even got underway. Holds on to the ball so beautifully does Ribeiro. Can't find Peter Shalulile, runs out of space. And he plays to the whistle, does the Namibian international, and just the way you should do. That's professional conduct.
He's got to try and engage Reyners, Shalulile. And I'm talking about this man, Ribeiro. He'll be moving around, switching play, trying to engage the two strikers. So far, the spaces have been narrowed. He's got to be inventive, because they're up against a team that already leading. The danger, though, is for them to sit back and try and defend this lead. It's still early stages of this first half. Got to play it smart.
Certainly do have to play it safe. Owen Dagama then on a live table. The CC side out of the relegation zone. And two KwaZulu-Natal sides at the bottom. Royal AM, Richards Bay FC yet to get into double figures. At the moment, Magesi on 10 points. A discussion between coach and his holding midfielder Samuel Dapo from Ghana. Former Amazulu and Venda Football Club holding midfielder. Starting for the 10th time tonight. That's Delano Abrahams. Scored the winning goal against Mamelodi Sundowns in that exceptionally memorable cup final down in the city of Roses. Bit of a blood nose then for the 23-year-old. Played at Hungry Lions before he was spotted by the University of Pretoria Tucks. Sharp defending from Malibongwe Khoza. Nice positioning from Younger. The danger there was he heads it just a little wide of his goalkeeper and straight between the post, because goalkeeper Onyango hadn't positioned himself wide of the post. He was right in the middle of what could have been a problematic area. Reyners is looking hungry.
He's shown that. He's got people that try and find him when he plays into the box. Very calm, composed in that box, can be deadly, reads the game so well. It's going to be interesting to see that combination with Shalulile.
Second corner of the match for Mamelodi Sundowns. A little bit of space for the Chilean 25-year-old Marcelo Allende. A really good player he is as well. And Mamelodi Sundowns looking to carve something of a success out of this encounter. Ball goes past Reyners. Malibongwe Khoza had his head to the ball first.
bright future.
Yes.
I think one of the prospects for being part of Bafana to lead that defense. He's under good guidance. He's under players that regularly get called up to play in the national team. He's got the basics of the game.
There is some familiarity between the starting lineups of Magesi and Mamelodi Sundowns from that cup final. 8 players that started in the cup final start today against Sundowns. 7 from Sundowns that start here against Magesi, that started in the cup final in Bloemfontein. Kolisi Madau's made way because of that injury and replaced by Tupela Morena. But it just does show a consistency in the selection process, not only for Magesi but for Mamelodi Sundowns as well.
Well, the coach believes in the level of fitness of the players. He believes there's no need to just keep on rotating the squad. Just try and keep the core of the team. I guess for Magesi, at this stage, they'll be happy in terms of the lead and, of course, the organization and the rapport they build amongst themselves.
No way through for Vandala. Three goals this season for Wonderboy Makubu. Scored the very first goal for Magesi in the Betway Premiership. It was in round 3 against Bafana Bestende, away from home by 1-0. That was the 25th of September. And scored against Kaizer Chiefs as well with Charambadare on the 30th of October. That was at home, and they are not afraid to attack the goal of Mamelodi Sundowns. And Mekwa gets himself in a good position. He hasn't scored this season so far, but he really does shoot from distance. He's one of those players, he doesn't wait to get into the box.
Good decision making, nothing wrong with that. Just couldn't hit the target. It was inviting for him, it was on for him to take that shot.
I don't think there'll be any panic from Mamelodi Sundowns about the position on the scoreboard at the moment. As soon as you hold on to the ball for more than one touch, you close down by Magesi. They really are playing rather nicely. Peter Shalolile, Marcelo Allende. Now Mokoena can shoot from this sort of distance a lot more effectively than that as well, I must say.
Well, expect that from him. Of course, I'm sure when he grew up, he used to watch a gentleman who used to score from that kind of range. Pokekana I'm talking about. And this is one of those. And he's done that before at Supersport. He's continued to do it at Mamelodi Sundowns. Just couldn't do it now at a crucial moment when the team is 1-0 down.
Yeah, incredibly, he did have maybe just a little bit more time and space than he thought he had, or maybe realized at the time. When you are trailing against the run of play, sometimes there's an element of desperation to try and get back on level terms. Sundowns have to absolutely believe in themselves. Here's Vandala. Once again, it's a lovely ball, but it's a beautiful bit of positioning by Onyango. I'm not sure that he should have really got involved in that sort of challenge. And he's looking for some support from the referee. I believe that decision should have gone the other way, and that's exactly, I think, what the referee's trying to tell him, Mr. Ndluli. Onyango seemed to barge himself into the Magesi player. Look at this. Well, I think that's... it was a retaliation from Vandala, but the perpetrator of the initial challenge was Onyango.
You just have to leave it for the two players and then deal with it. And I think they understand the moment that Dennis Onyango wanted to play it early. And those are some of the tricks that players can bring into the game.
Tall, lanky centre-back, the 20-year-old Molibongwe Khoza. Highly experienced Kranke Kano, played at Tucson Supersport United before getting a prime signing. Ball eluding Divine Lunga. He's picked up oodles of experience. Divine Lunga in his initial spell with Mamelodi Sundowns before going to Bafana Bestende and improving his lot in life before moving back to the capital city, Tshwane. Delano Abraham still sporting the bit of padding inside of his nose. Not the greatest attempt of a throw down the line from the former Tuxman.
It's the breathing I'm worried about.
Kekana found Khoza. Alende for company. Mokoena bottled up in the middle by Makubu. Back from whence it came from Mamelodi Sundowns. Divine Lunga. Peter Shalulile. Space from Kulise. Magesi closing down every possible avenue of attack for Mamelodi Sundowns at the moment, and it really does look rather impressive. Wonderboy Makubu. Makubu trying to get himself past Tapelo Morena. Caden Rodemayer looking to enhance his already growing reputation in the Betway Premiership. We're already 25 minutes into this round 14 encounter in the Betway Premier League. Magesi 1, Mamelodi Sundowns 0. Really was a good header, wasn't it?
Beautiful header. But then you ask a lot of questions from the Sundowns defense in terms of how they looked a little bit disjointed in terms of clearing their lines, and they got punished. But give it to him, because he was opportunistic, very clinical in terms of the finishing. Now we're paying a lot of attention on him.
Near post flick on from Makubu. Nobody in the area in a blue jersey, and easy for Dennis Onyango. Box-to-box player, Marcelo Alende. Plenty to offer in the game of football. Lovely work done by Mkulise as well. Needs a decent cross in, doesn't get a decent cross in. Makoni will clear. One Makoni to another. John, 5 years younger than Lechlo Honolo, playing at left back. It's a nice combination on the left-hand side defensively. John Makoni and Caden Rodemayer, who at times can also slot into a left-back position if required. Mkulise. Reyna's looking to make a little diagonal run. Good work done by Mkulise. Morena. Corner.
They look very attractive in terms of attacking, swift passing game, short passes. I think there can be variations as well in terms of playing it into the box. Sundowns, I thought they took a lot of time to launch a dangerous pass into that box.
For more numbers inside the penalty area. It's a little bit of a dummy though. Marcelo Marcello. Little dummy from Mokoena. The header from Khoza. Not quite the contact Kekana was looking for.
Another one of those that can play defensive midfield. Grant Kekana playing centre back. Good pass. Not the best header at all.
And I don't think he was quite patient enough for the ball to drop. Maybe just a couple of more centimetres required, and good work done by Delano Abraham anyway. Mamelodi Sundowns were forced to make an early substitution, with Karisa Mudar making way for Tapelo Morena. Magesi scored an early goal through Makubu.
I've seen a couple of times Shalulile dropping deeper to try and get the ball. Previously he used to stay up front, so there's a bit of a variation because you have Reynolds leading that front line and he's allowed to, come in a little bit deep. Shalulile.
Rodemayer and John Makoni linking up on the left-hand side, and the pass back to Rodemayer wasn't that good from the younger of the Makonis. Nice interception from this man. He really does cover a lot of ground. Marcelo Alende. Talk about the CAF Champions League, and while Mamelodi Sundowns are playing their first match in 2025 in the Betway Premiership, they certainly have been active with 3 matches in consecutive weeks in the CAF Champions League. Starting with a loss away against Raja Casablanca, a victory away against Maniema, Union, and then a draw against Asfar, but finishing second in the Group B with Asfar and qualifying for the quarter-final and the knockout stage once again. Or the ball lands very, very nearly at the feet of Lucas Ribeiro. Again, no foul, says referee Mdluli, who is really allowing the match to flow rather nicely. Mokoena, Nkulise. The one thing that Magesi can't afford to do is to be stretched. They've got to keep their shape. They have to keep their formation and their discipline defensively in particular.
They also have to defend as a unit in the quest to defend their lead, because Sundowns are enjoying the major share of position, keeping the ball in the opponent's half, still trying to rotate it to find the gaps. Still see the point of reference in Shalulile. Struggling to find it.
Just not able to really pick up that communication. How many goals has this man not scored? Absolutely prolific for Stellenbosch FC. Didn't do as well at Supersports United. Went back to Stellenbosch FC and just opened the taps. It was ridiculous, the amount of goals that he scored. There's a man who looks a trifle concerned. I'm sure he's got a plan B, maybe C and D as well. But Magesi lead by a goal to nil, and therefore those plans are going to have to start coming into action. He's already had to make a change. Nice little back heel from Makubu. This is Samuel Dopo, Clearly Mvala, or Vandala. Vandala's done nicely here. Vandala's done better than nicely. Needs a decent cross. Can't find Makubu. Solid defending from Koza.
They're good. Their posture is good. They're leading Magesi. And they're getting the balls into the danger areas. Some firepower there. Some known faces that we're seeing from Magesi. That's the depth that they have. Yogif Mutupa is part of the team.
Reina's on the turn. Oh, he's been brought down, and that should be a yellow card into Mzwandile Buthelezi.
He's just put himself under so much pressure being the centre back. Mzwandile Buthelezi.
First bit of discipline by Eugene Mdluli, our match referee for today, the 33-year-old. Going into the book here just after the half-hour mark. Here's Mokoena. A little bit of movement, but almost a little bit of confusion as well between Costa and Allende. Forward by Koza. Morena, Koza, Nkulise. Solid defending from Magesi once again. Really having to think about how to break down this Magesi side at the moment. Divine Lunga, but just look how far back Mamelodi Sundowns have been tracked with the Divine Lunga and Ikram Reyners. And when you see Reyners tracking back towards the halfway line looking for work, you know that Mamelodi Sundowns are having to work a little harder than I think they wanted to. Reyners, still Reyners. Didn't quite work for Costa, did it?
And maybe let's look at the options that he had. Perhaps the first option that came to his mind was to attempt a shot. But he had two options. There are players that had delayed their runs. Watch this. Look at the options that he's got. He's got two players in front of him that were looking for this ball. He gets a great ball from Mokoena. Good control. And then he goes for glory. The angle was a bit tight for him.
Ikram Reyners into double figures. The only player into double figures as far as all competitions are concerned. League and Cup. 6 goals in the Betway Premiership. Ribeiro has 6 as well. Mapasa for Orlando Pirates with 4. Mahopo with 4. Boyeli with 5 after that hat-trick. Don't forget that he scored against SuperSport United, the Cameroonian. Delano Abrahams, the pace that he shows. Lovely defending from Mamelodi Sundowns, however. Looking to play deep. Dribble their way out of precarious position, Mamelodi Sundowns. Tepo Kokora is a danger. Abrahams has picked up a knock. This is Koza. Allende. Mamelodi Sundowns looking to open the game from inside of their own half. From almost the time that Magesi had opened the scoring after just 12 minutes. It's been a long time since that happened. Nice ball away by Makoni. Rodame back in defence. Kakora and Samuel Darpo not really contributing with the ball at their feet somewhat. And at the moment, Magesi are down to 10. Another shot that goes over the top. It wasn't Allende that struck it, it was Costa. Darpo chatting to the referee, Mr. Mkluli. I don't think there's really any problem that they have to worry about Magesi FC, because the players off the field of play. So nothing has to stop. And if Abrahams can't continue, then a substitution has to be made. He's struggling at the moment, is Delano. He's an important part of this side.
He went for 50-50. That was more how he landed. Not too sure if there was some serious contact.
While the ball's out of play, I know it was yesterday that it happened, and he's received wishes from all around the world, but the tallest man in South African football, from a broadcasting or a playing point of view, one must say, Mark Gleeson.
He's long, he's not long at all.
Happy birthday for yesterday, and hope you had a fabulous celebration. Yeah. Ball given away! Chance for a second goal! Onyango comes to the rescue of Koza. It's the second time Koza's made a mistake under pressure from players on the left-hand side, and Rodame has given Koza a very, very hard time indeed. Morena runs out of space. Okubu very, very nearly on a double. Onyango rescues the situation. Sorry, Brian.
He's apologizing. Let's see why he has to apologize. Ball played back. 2 players did not get it right. He did well to pressurize the defenders. Perhaps did not look up as quick as possible to actually punish the opponent, but he's been on fire. And that's the side of one that I think maybe a dart onto the right-hand side should have done better. But credit to the keeper, Onyango, who sensed the danger, comes out as quick as possible to clear his lines, to bail out his defense. He's the marked man, but very aggressive, difficult to contain. The only way to stop him is to foul him. So far, he's the hottest property for Magesi. Even Grant can't deal with him.
This would be a massive achievement for Magesi FC and for Owen Dugama. Don't forget, he's only in his 2nd match in charge of this Magesi side, the defending Botepe Foundation Championship champions. 11th of January against AmaZulu, lost by a 1-0 the previous encounter. And now this one, leading over Mamelodi Sundowns by a 1-0. You heard the interview from Carroll that he is up to the big time, or the big moments, and Darpo not quite able to test Dennis Onyango. Morena gets past John Makoni. No real support there. And away by the younger of the Maconis again. And quite often in defence, just so that they can consolidate and reorganise themselves, they play that long ball away from their defensive structure, Magesi FC.
I think they're not so gifted to rotate the ball as swift as Sundowns does, so they've got to try and play it safe from time to time.
Nkulise, Koza, 65% possession for Mamelodi Sundowns. It's totally dominant. Scoreboard tells you a different story, doesn't it? Delano Abrahams Eddie Vandala out-wrestled by Grant Kekana, who's a no-nonsense centre-back. Peter Shalolile on his bicycle very quickly inside to Mkulise. Abraham's trying to scramble it away. It's a nice pickup from Elvis Chipezeze.
I just think that Sundowns have a bit of a problem up front. You have a Reyners who's more of a box player and he enjoys playing there. You have a Shalolile that's making all of those runs onto outside the box. Is he the best when it comes to passing?
Eddie Vandala, Divine Lunga. He just lost his balance for a moment. That's why the referee didn't give the free kick. Eddie Vandala outmuscled by the Zimbabwean left-sided fullback. Now there's a foul on Mokoena by Gakora. Gakora, quite often in matches, walks a very thin line as far as the refereeing is concerned, and wouldn't be any great surprise if he picked up a yellow card sooner rather than later. Just like that. That's a silly challenge, really.
Desperate moment. Because of the positioning wasn't right. To an extent, I think he got to the ball, but it's because of it's just a sort of challenge from behind. Yeah, when the referee does this, I'm not going to tolerate it anymore. You try it, you're in trouble.
182 PSL career appearances for this man who's only 28 years old. Well, he's not yet, he's 27 years old. But in a couple of days' time, that's Friday, turns 28. Tuwako Mokoena.
The important date that I know is it's 28. When is Valentine's Day? It's 28, right? It's not February yet.
No.
Yeah. And the maturity that he's displayed over the years, he's maintained super sport, which is where he's been. And comes to Mamelodi Sundowns and commanding a position that had the likes of Hlompo Kekana, surprise Muriri.
We're inside the final 5 minutes of the first half. A first half that has belonged tactically to Mamelodi Sundowns, but from a scoring point of view for Magesi. Marcelo Willende. Morena, I thought he was going to take a shot from that sort of situation. It didn't. Costa, but slow off the mark from his teammates. If you go down to have a chat to Matthew and Carol at half-time, why don't you rather go into the dressing room of Sundowns and give us some feedback of what the coach is saying to the players? Because something's got to change for them, surely, Sundowns, that is.
Breathe, have a cup of coffee, relax. That's the first thing that you say. Calm them down. Of course, they're up against it because they're trailing. They haven't created that many clear-cut chances. But they're a team that is capable of bouncing back. And we've seen that. We just need to continue grafting.
Morena playing much more of an attacking role, and you spoke a little bit earlier on about just how versatile a player the substitute right-sided fullback is. This is Grant Kekana. We'll look up from a former SuperSport United man, a couple of former SuperSport United players in the lineup. It's a good little ball through to Ikram Reyners, but he's been turned around rather nicely. Oh, the spill of the ball by Chipezeze, no damage done, because I think Shalolile was on the back foot already.
It's more like it.
Yes.
You have Reyners who gets out of the box and set up the ball that's supposed to be played for Shalolile, who is in the box. That's sort of understanding. Good defense so far from Magesi.
Lunga's done nicely ahead of Vandala. Koza under pressure from Makubu. Nobody willing to really put pressure on Grant Kekana. Preservation of space and their one-goal lead, because we only have a minute remaining until we get to first half stoppage time in Polokwane. We do thank you for your presence on our World of Champions tonight. Magesi FC against Mamelodi Sundowns. is a match to be played tomorrow between Amazulu and Stellenbosch FC. The Royal AM Pirates match will not take place. Foul on Caden Roddermeyer. Free kick to Magesi FC.
The sort of fouls not helping their cause Sundowns because it works to the advantage of Magesi. And he's been such a leader up front.
Roddermeyer makes a little bit of a hash of things, and Mamelodi Sundowns with potentially some valuable possession. This is Mokoena going in the wrong direction. Malibongwe Khoza. Dennis Onyengo is the link. 2 minutes added on to the end of the first half by referee Eugene Mdluli, in which there was just one yellow card issued, one substitution made, and one goal scored. Khoza looking for Morena. Mokoena. Good ball. Reyners. Mokoena overruns things. Kakora, maybe not quite the same sort of flair as you have from Marcelo Allende, but a similar sort of role that he plays, box to box. Vandala away by Abraham, still sporting that wadding in his nose after that little collision with Divine Lunga. We only have a minute remaining until half-time. Brian, your thoughts of the first half?
I think it's the half that belongs to the host themselves. Defended quite well, put pressure on the ball in the midfield, pounced on the right moment to get that goal. Knew that they have to suffer because they're up against a team that will rotate the ball. That's exactly what they're doing. But so far, looking very organized. Defensively, they're poor as well in that midfield. And I also think in the goalkeeping department, he might not have been involved in a lot of action, but he's been very vocal. Chipazeze.
Divine Lunga, is there one last bite of the cherry for Mamelodi Sundowns before the half-time break, and potentially a little bit of reorganization from coach Jose Cardoso? Ball kept in play by Tapela Morena. They're lining up maybe to have a crack at the goal. Yeah, Marcelo Allende. Gap closed down quickly. Mkulise. Chipazeze has done awfully nicely ahead of Peter Shalolile. And that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see Ondagama lead his, well, so far successful side into the half-time break in front of their home supporters at the Peter Mokaba Stadium, where Magesi won the First Division title in May of 2024 with a 2-2 draw against the Venda Football Club. Khoza making an error, the ball in from the left-hand side, the angled header from Wonderboy Mokubu past Dennis Onyengo, the only goal of the match so far. There have been opportunities for Mamelodi Sundowns, but so far the organisation defensively, the structure that Ondagama has accumulated, and it all started with Clinton Larson. They're playing in a very similar sort of way, Magesi, to what Clinton Larson wanted. Ondagama continuing with that. The organisation, structure and discipline has been marvellous from the home side. They scored a goal through Wonderboy Mokubu in just the 12th minute, and Magesi lead at half-time over Mamelodi Sundowns by 1-0. Knockout. He's been absolutely superb. Won a couple of player of the match.
It's Pirates versus Chiefs. The Soweto Derby, 1 February at 3:30. The Betway Premiership, only on SuperSport.
Before we get to the derby, this is what is currently happening right now. Fireworks at the Peter Mokaba Stadium with the home side Magesi Football Club finally in the lead, scoring that goal after 4 games without scoring, and the right time to do it against really big foes in Mamelodi Sundowns. So things looking good at the break for the hosts. Let's talk about what actually led to that particular goal and the frailties from the visitors.
I think let's give it to the hosts themselves. I think defensively, they've done very well. They've managed to match Sundowns. They are aware of the threat from Allende, Ribeiro. They've managed to do that. You look at the team that has got, Shalulile, Reynolds that have been denied their spaces. And then opportune time, they pounced at the right moment. They were pretty clinical in a defense which I felt were pretty much disorganized from the Sundowns side.
Yeah, defensively, as we knew, they've read the game very well. Sundowns have overhit a couple of balls, and then the 2 fullbacks have read those little slide balls in an attempt to get in behind them. And Allende and Kulise, like I said before the game, one thing that perhaps has worked for them is that on the edge of the box they have attempted those little chip-ins to Shalulile and Reynolds.
Well, that's been the strength. I mean, this is the goal for me. You look at the defenders, not tight enough, and he was in control of the situation. You know, when a striker is in control of the situation, he's able to see the 2 defenders and their positioning, and he's anticipating that cross, and he gets a delightful ball. Look at how he sneaks in, near post, glancing header, no chance for the goalkeeper.
What also didn't help Sundowns was that Mudau did go down. He gave it back to Koza. He went down. Koza almost tries to play it back to him, not realizing that he's gone down. And Rademeier picks the ball up, and then that creates that little moment of confusion, creates a little bit of panic, and that allows Makubo to get the run in on Kekana. But what a ball from Radamel and a brilliant finish.
Fantastic finish, and of course their top goal scorer is the one to do it now. 3 goals to his name, Umakubu. Mamelodi Sundowns trying to get back, but not good enough.
I don't know about Matthew, but I think the combination of Shalulile and Reynolds so far not so solid. We have him making those runs, and when Shalulile at some point he goes too deep for me to try and engage in those sort of passes. It hasn't worked out for me, and they haven't been so much of a threat to my Magesi team. And they're almost conceded.
I wonder, Brian, if this is not going to come back to haunt Makubo, because this is a fantastic opportunity. Koza is a little bit too slow to get his feet right for that pass back, and Makubo smells an opportunity here. Does very well to sneak the ball away from Koza, but should really have done better with the finish.
He definitely should have done that, and I think he's in the present moment because he reads the situation, putting pressure on the defenders. And of course, you're right. If you don't convert that, you're likely to have a Sundowns team that might come back. The first 15 minutes of the second half is going to be very crucial.
Yeah, for me, for Sundowns, you know, I want to see, because the ground is quite compact and they're not having any joy in those little chipped-in balls and playing out wide, trying to get in behind the 2 fullbacks. I would love to see an Obas perhaps come in, and that in doing so, allowing Mokoena to get further up the field and try here a few long-range shots to try and test Chippy. I think that's a way in for Sundowns.
I would like to perhaps know as well, in terms of your thoughts. I see in terms of the possibilities. I think for Magesi, I don't think there's any need for any change. For Sundowns, I think it's more altering how they're approaching the game. The 2 players, Shalulile and Reynolds. For me, if you have an Allende, you have a Ribeiro, stay in the box, get the ball in there. But a lot of times they're getting outside of the box, and it doesn't help the cause.
Yeah, and you've got to give credit to Vandala and Abrams down their right-hand side. They've given Lunga an absolute torrid time. I just wonder how long that will last going into the second half.
All right, it's going to be interesting to see how it is that Mamelodi Sundowns gets back into this encounter in the second half. They have won 3 points from a losing position before. Let's see what transpires here after the break.
Welcome you back to the old Peter Mokaba Stadium. We're in Polokwane on a Wednesday night. Betway Premiership action in round 14. Magesi FC playing against Mamelodi Sundowns for the very first time in a Premier League encounter. The lead by a goal to nil at half-time. Wonderboy Makubu with a Wonderboy glancing header past Dennis Onyango after the cross from John McConey, the left-sided fullback for Magesi FC. A couple of changes for Mamelodi Sundowns. A new Brazilian signing, 22-year-old Arthur Salles, only got one goal in the Betway Premiership so far this season. It came in the previous match against Richards Bay FC. And he comes on for Spelele Mkhulise. Tashreeq Matthews is on as well. Referee Eugene Mgluli waiting for the substitutions to take place before we get underway for the second half of this encounter. Then underway then, Mamelodi Sundowns will get us started for the second 45 minutes, trailing by 1-0. They play in the yellow and white kit tonight to do Mamelodi Sundowns. They attack the goal to the right-hand side of your screen. Magesi FC in all blue will play from right to left during the course of the second half. Brian Made has made his way back up to commentary after his half-time chat with Carol and Matthew. And yeah, it's all up to Mamelodi Sundowns if they can get off to a bright start here. The ball nearly reaches Arthur Salles, Brian, but Mamelodi Sundowns have to do something special, one feels.
Well, they've made some changes. Salles coming on offers them something going forward. Obviously, Reynolds is off.
Opportunity for Magesi early on here. A little bit selfish from Wonderboy Makubu. Still, Vandala in the penalty area. Headed away by Marcelo Allende, deputising almost as a right-sided fullback. It's a nice little dink towards John McConey. McConey slips inside Morena. Still an opportunity for Kakora. This time, Koza does nicely. Away by Costa. Magesi, an uncompromising mindset at the moment. So McConey back into the defence with Dylan Mekwa. One feels that Mamelodi Sundowns are going to try and hustle Magesi a bit more than they did during the first half. Quite fascinatingly, both sides with only 2 shots on target during the first half, and we saw both shots on target that came from Wonderboy Makubu. One of them found the back of the net.
Well, talking about back of the net, there's a Sundowns player that has just gone down. It's a wonder. And I think there's going to be a change. Who that be? Have a look.
Smile on the face of the Chilean 25-year-old Marcelo Allende, chatting to his South American teammate. Dennis Onyango offering his opinions in there as well. Tapela Morena came on as a substitute for Kolisu Mudau. And now the second right-sided fullback has picked up a knock, serious enough to see him need medical attention as well.
It doesn't look good for him. Let's see what happens here.
Could have scored, should have scored a second goal. I think he had one touch too many. Allowed Dennis Onyango to close down the space. And in that moment, I mean, Onyango is unbelievably experienced, and one has to give a lot of credit to the 39-year-old Ugandan. Well, that's the goal he scored on just 12 minutes. Wonderboy Makubu. I think he'll go to bed. Doesn't matter what the result is tonight. I think Wonderboy Makubu will go to bed tonight feeling rather pleased with himself.
Well, he's been a hustler of note. I mean, he's got that wonderful header But then again, he's been causing problems to that defense, Mamelodi Sundowns.
First goal they've scored in 4 outings. Nothing against SuperSport United, Pirates, TX Galaxy or Amazulu. Last goal against Marumo Gallants came from Tebaka Kor on the 7th of December, so it's been an awfully long time since the Mukubu goal in the Betway Premiership. But I'm sure he'll be very happy to have contributed for the 3rd time this season. Mamelodi Sundowns desperately need a contribution. Lende continues with his box-to-box role. This is Grant Kekana. Change of personnel at half-time. No Reyners, no Mkulise. You do have Tashrik Matthews, you do have Arthur Salet, and of course the substitution in the first half with Kulisa Mudau making way for Tapelo Morena, who has done rather nicely. He picked himself up a little knock earlier on as well. First little touch there for Tashrik Matthews. Playing in Sweden for some while. Played at Sirius in the last team that he played for up in the Northern Hemisphere. 24-year-old is Tashrik Matthews. 6th appearance of the season. They're desperate to get on the score sheet here. Still an opportunity. At the back post, Peter Shalolile was waiting. Causa forward, Alende with a little shimmy. It's a good pull back to Matthews. Can't pull the trigger. Can Alende? Well, he can.
It's a good posture they're showing in this second half. At Sundowns, dominating, creating chances, getting the ball into the danger areas. Lebusa.
Musa Lebusa comes on for his first run as a substitute this season. 5 times in the starting lineup for Mamelodi Sundowns, the 32-year-old former Ajax Cape Town player. Kekana involved with Wonderboy Mokubu. No great surprise there, I don't think.
He's smart. He knew who was coming behind him.
Free kick taken quickly. Freddy Vandala! Carried away by Dennis Onyango, and Mamelodi Sundowns living dangerously. They got a little bit lucky, I feel.
They are so vulnerable at the back, Sundowns. And this man is causing all sorts of problems. You can tell he's enjoying himself. They're making good runs. And I'm worried that Sundowns at the back, they look so disjointed, likely to concede at any given moment. So far, so good for the team that has to defend their lead in Magesi, attacking from the front foot.
Not often that you have a substitute substituted. That's the case of Tapelo Morena. So both right-sided fullbacks have been injured seriously enough to not take any further part in the match. Mudau first and then Morena, one in the first half, one in the second. And now you have Musa Lebusa, who is out on the park. And that just maybe disrupts matters a fraction.
There's been talk about managing this kind of players based on the amount of football they've had to play. I mean, national team have the competition. They're featuring in all competitions as well, so there will be some wear and tear.
Yeah, not the same sort of season that Mamelodi Sundowns enjoyed in the previous campaign. Losses came early on after the victory against Polokwane City in the top 8 competition. Successive 1-0 losses against Stellenbosch FC saw Sundowns bow out of that competition in the semi-finals. Then the loss against Polokwane City as well, and the loss against Magesi FC in the cup final. So there have been a couple of defeats, 4 of them in total for the Glamour Club, and many times champions. Nice work done by Divine Lunga. Tries to stay on his feet, doesn't stay on his feet. Away by Samuel Topo. Marcelo Alende A little bit sleepy on the ball. Kakora's done beautifully. And Marcelo Allende is clutching his shins, but there's defending to be done by Mamelodi Sundowns, and they managed to accomplish that quite comfortably in the end of the day.
Good defensive midfielder, Mokoena.
Mamelodi Sundowns trying all that they possess to deal with the scoreboard. There's Peter Shalolile coming back into almost an attacking midfield sort of role. Forward by Koza, ball given away, it doesn't reach Soles. Then Vandala retains possession, just about.
You can tell that the intention is to put pressure on Magesi in the early stages of this second half Sundowns. But as they attack, they become vulnerable as well at the back.
No time to rest on the laurels earned from that early goal. Oh, also an own goal from Koza. He's really succumbing to the pressure here. Twice he makes a mistake. One a goal from Wonderboy Makubu, one nearly a goal from Wonderboy Makubu, and there nearly an own goal saved by Dennis Onyengo for the second time in the encounter. 20-year-old a little bit rattled. Mokoena certainly not rattled. Magesi FC attacking with pace, attacking with guile. Opportunity for Makubu. That's a good save on Onyengo. Really good save. Diola Mekwa absolutely scintillating.
The confidence to get into that sort of good area. Look out for the options. Goes for glory. Forces, a save from Dennis Onyengo. That's a player that's enjoying himself. Look at the smile on his face. They know Sundowns is going to be vulnerable. They know Sundowns are going to push numbers forward. And on that right-hand side, that's where they're trying to capitalize on.
Delano Abrahams was the man who got that shot away. This is Zondile Buthelezi. Nice take from Onyengo. First corner earned by Magesi comes in the 56th minute of the match. Arthur Sales. Kankakana as the Brazilian again. Very lanky chap he is too. Good delivery from Ribeiro. Kept in play by Lunga as well. Marcelo Allende.
Not his best. We've seen his best. And I'm sure he's not going to be happy. They're trying very hard to push forward. And as they push forward, they also become vulnerable at the back, Sundowns.
Nowhere near the same history Magesi as Mamelodi Sundowns enjoy. One has to go back to 2011 when the owners created the club that they'd bought from the SAFA second division side called Peace Lovers FC. You'll remember them, I'm sure. Won the second division of the Limpopo region as Peace Lovers in 2009-2010. Finished behind FCAK in the promotional playoffs. You remember FCAK, second in the Limpopo division in 2011 and 12, runners up in 2013, and promoted to the ABC Motepe League. But Magesi are the only side ever from the ABC Motepe League to be promoted on 2 occasions from the amateur ranks into the National First Division, 2015-16, 2021-22, and then only 2 years later winning the Motepe Foundation Championship and promotion to the Betway Premiership, and then becoming the first side ever to win on debut in the League Cup Carling knockout in South African football. So spoke about some of the records that Magesi have enjoyed and history that they've made, and looking now to create more history by beating Mamelodi Sundowns in their very first meeting in South Africa's top flight of domestic football. Still work to be done though. Khoza leaves it for Onyengo. The side in blue are still looking eager for a second goal, aren't they, Brian?
Well, let me give you a sneak preview about the conversation. Ekasi. Those that thought, Magesi beating Sundowns, that was a fluke. And now looking at this and saying 1-0, it's not over yet.
No.
But there's possibilities.
Scintillating run from Delano Abrahams. Caught short though. Away by Ribeiro Costa. Good first touch from Matthews. Kekana, Costa, Ribeiro, Allende. Grant Kekana once again. Nice movement off the ball here. No foul, says the referee. Good work done by Caden Rodemeyer. Ball given away though. There's a Magesi player that's down on the park at the moment. That should be easy for Chipisese. Points towards the stricken player. Ribeiro frustrated. Allende frustrated. Shalalilia certainly. Delano Abrahams not feeling too comfortable. He's got a knock on the right knee by the look of things. He's had a wonderful match today as the 23-year-old. Jose Cardoso suddenly showing a bit of animation, and understandably so as well. Notes being exchanged between Mosele Busa, Grant Kekana, Tebogo Mokoena, stuck in his sock. Wonder what the message read. Certainly not happy birthday.
After my trick, I would have forgotten the notes to grasp such information in such a quick point. Remain students of the game where notes are being passed on to players to go through all of that. Gee, you need a certain pass grade to be able to read some of these things. But yeah.
There is a right-sided fullback that's on the bench for Magesi today. He's played twice in the starting lineup this season. Dimakacho Kamape is a 29-year-old. But Delano Abrahams offers so much and has offered so much for Magesi FC since signing from the University of Pretoria Tuks. What about that goal that he scored in the cup final? He scored in a 3-2 win over Orlando Pirates in the opening round of the Carling knockout as well. So some really, really big scalps for Magesi so far this season in their debut campaign in the Premier League. Sales bottled up. Well, that's not the best of clearances either. The chance for Ribeiro Costa. Oh, and a miscue. Nicely tidied up though. Vandala maybe a little bit on the anxious side. Now, if Mamelodi Sundowns continue with this sort of pressure and they can get Magesi to start succumbing to the pressure and starting to become a little bit anxious, as soon as the anxiety sets in, then the opportunities will start to come for Mamelodi Sundowns. Here's Grant Kekana, knocked away by Makoni. Vandala. Foul on Abrahams. Referee with a yellow card to Divine Lunga.
The brave ones whip the ball. That's what Sundowns have been doing. But then they become vulnerable once they get dispossessed because they are taking in numbers. And when we are taking numbers, you leave certain spaces open, and that you can see the desperation of that man, Divine Lunga.
I have to repeat the records of the two sides since that Carling knockout final towards the latter stages of November 2024. Magesi with 1 draw in 6 matches, 5 losses and only 1 goal. Caden Rodemay offside. Mamelodi Sundowns at the same period of time played 4, won 4, 7 goals scored and nothing conceded. Well, they conceded today to Wonderboy Makubu. And we're over an hour played at the Peter Mokaba Stadium in Polokwane. Plenty more matches to come in the Betway Premiership, because this is only match number 12 for Mamelodi Sundowns, match number 13 for Magesi FC. So another 17 matches for Magesi, 18 more matches for Mamelodi Sundowns, and still the quarterfinals at least of the Champions League. Space for a shot. It's an absolute ripper, you know. It's a great shot from Ribeiro. Lucas Ribeiro with his 7th goal of the season. The man who played in Beveren grabs the equaliser. 19 minutes into the second half. Frustration for Chipizeze. Sundowns finally on the score sheet. It really was a good shot.
A great shot. That's a man that has played, beach soccer. You can tell from that kind of volley that that's something that you've seen when the Brazilian, do their football practice in the beach or at the beach. What a volley. No chance for Chipazeze. That's more like a sniper's moment. Ball pinned into the box, not cleared convincingly. It comes back. Look at that. Well taken. Listen, Kazini look at that. Bounces, half volley on target. Give credit as well to that man, Sales, who kept it down. The bounce was very awkward. But hey, nothing is awkward.
Scintillating. That is absolutely brilliant. I mean, Sales rose majestically. No chance for Mokoni or Buthelezi defensively. But that pickup from Lucas Ribeiro, absolutely scintillating. Magesi 1, Sundowns 1. 20 minutes played in the second half. Still 25 minutes of stoppage time remaining for Mamelodi Sundowns to right the apple cart, so to speak, which was overturned in the 12th minute of the first half with that Wonderboy Makubu goal. And a lot of desperation here from Cardoso. Sales, Kekana, Koza, very, very high line being played by Sundowns. It's all attack at the moment. Mokoena, Alente. Great work done by Samuel Dopo. Match has opened up incredibly. Abraham's out of position at the moment. There needs to be cover at right-sided fullback for Magesi.
Now you've got to look at how Sundowns win it back so quickly after losing it. So energized, so professional in their approach, ruthless as well.
Makoni clears with a header. Dopo into no man's land. Koza with a foul on Makubu.
I think that's him trying to register his presence, to say, you have been tormenting us in the first half. We seem to have regrouped. No chance for you this time.
Referee just offers a lecture to the young and very, very promising Mamelodi Sundowns central defender. The Sundowns supporters all over the country will be absolutely delighted with the situation. It does give an opportunity to Mamelodi Sundowns to stretch their lead over Orlando Pirates to another point. 4 points in total. Mamelodi Sundowns playing a game more, but one sort of gets the feeling that we're not quite at the end of the scoring. Peter Shalolile might have ideas about improving on the 2 Betway Premiership goals that he scored so far this season. Abraham's offside flag will go up. Onyengo does the clearing against Kakora. I don't think there was any problems anyway. Assistant referee Ngadi preventing any problems for Mamelodi Sundowns just after they'd drawn level. Mokoena loses out to Dopo. Abrahams. Quick passing game. Doesn't quite work out for Magesi. This is where they could get themselves into trouble with Divine Lunga. Kakora so nicely, but it was a false start really for Wonderboy Makubu, who was standing in an offside position anyway. Dennis Onyango is asking the players to keep it calm. At the same time, Jose Cardoso is asking the players to accelerate with their intensity even more than what they have with that equaliser and play all their football inside the half of Magesi.
You get the impression that in the first stages of the second half, Magesi have set back, sort of invite Sundowns into their own half, and Sundowns requires that because the rotation of the ball they're very good at. It's not surprising that they got the equalizer. Of course, the changes that they've made have influenced the game as well. And we want to see if they can bounce back, Magesi.
Kakana, beg your pardon, Matthews. Koza, Libusa. Mokoena was pointing actually wide onto the left-hand side, and the ball came back inside where Divine Lunga was in lots of space. He's still in lots of space. Nice little late run from Grant Kekana, nearly picked out by Marcelo Alente. He's worked hard tonight as Makoni. This is Koza. It's a much different prospect at the moment for Mamelodi Sundowns. They're defending on the halfway line, basically.
They're in control of the situation. They're dictating the tempo of the game.
Matthews rides one challenge, rides a second challenge, can't ride the third. Wonderboy Makubu plays it a little too strongly for the attack to be perpetrated to any great effect. Not the first time we've seen him apologise, this time to Caden Rodemeyer. They're led by a goal to nil. Magesi after just 12 minutes. 52 minutes later, Mamelodi Sundowns grabbed that equaliser. And what an equaliser it was. Sure, that'll be watched time and time again all over the television channels of Super Sport, your World of Champions. Also your social media pages, no doubt at all. That's a really silly challenge on Wonderboy Makubu, and the referee will offer Grant Kekana a yellow card for his troubles. He's a bit of a handful, Makubu.
Well, he has been. I mean, the runs that he made in the first half, good skill, good pace. He dived. He knows, Grant, that he dived. And now we know that he's got back full of tricks. That Wonderboy Makubu.
Spoke about all the traffic that's going to be perpetrated on this old Peter Mokaba Stadium pitches. Is another offside, this time against John Makoni. Don't forget the Nedbank Cup starts on Friday night with Pretoria Callies up against Marumo Gallants from the Lucas Masterpieces Moripe Stadium. Makubela is about to come on. Recent signing from Richards Bay FC. We was released from Richards Bay FC. Never die Makubela. First match in the colours of Magesi. The Sunday, Monday and Tuesday there'll be back-to-back matches in the Nedbank Cup here at the old Peter Mokaba Stadium. The new Peter Mokaba Stadium still, I think, is the pitch trying to recover from that Christmas concert that led the pitch unplayable. Good ball from Costa, nearly finding Matthews, but yeah, matches. Polokwane City will play against the Bees on Sunday. Sekakuni United against Cape Town City on Monday. And Magesi against Super Sport United on Tuesday, all in the Nedbank Cup. But that's for another day and for another week. But that competition gets underway. It's the Cup of Dreams, isn't it? The FA Cup of South African football.
But I'm glad you're saying that. How many times have we seen teams that have come up and beat the big boys? That's the beauty of the Nedbank Cup. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, lots of football for the local supporters to become excited about over the next little while. This is Divine Lunga again. Back by Peter Shalulile. I don't think we've seen the best of Shalulile today as yet.
He's been off the boil a little bit, but it just takes 1 or 2 goals to regain his confidence.
Darpost done nicely. This man is so quick. Makubu Mokoena out wrestles him. The referee says no foul.
Was the elbow was ready to accelerate here up against Mokoena. Let's have a look at it here. There's a stretched arm on the throat. Is it too serious? He seems to be okay there. Nothing too serious.
Yeah, he certainly didn't get the rub of the green on that occasion. 30-year-old Nevadai Makupela. Orlando Pirates swallows Richards Bay FC out of a contract signed by Magesi FC as an attacking midfielder. Comes on for Dylan Mekwa. First change made by Owen De Gama tonight.
Well, the man who's now the assistant to Cardoso is Steve Copella. Coached Nevadai Makupela Golden Arrows, protected him when at some point he got criticized for the trickery that he had.
Mamelodi Sundowns pushing so hard for a goal that'll take them in front in this encounter. It's all Mamelodi Sundowns at the moment, possession-wise. They really are asking questions of Magesi, and if Magesi can survive these dangerous moments in the latter stages of this Betway Premiership encounter, they really will be able to hold their heads up rather high, I fancy. Saleh with a little run. He's a tall man, so is Makoni, though. Oh, that's lovely composure defensively from Magesi.
Something is not working out for Magesi. They're trying to build up from that midfield and they're giving away possession in their own half. Not good at all.
Mozalabuza came on after Tupela Morena had picked up an injury, and Morena had come on, if you've missed it, for the injured Kulisa Mudau. So two right-sided fullbacks who found the going a little bit tough here in Polokwane. Marcelo Walende continues to work hard with these box-to-box exploits. Divine Lunga bottled up. Lebusa, Koza, highest we've seen Koza. Not afraid to take a shot. Decent one as well. If it hadn't been cleared by Butelezi, it might have even been a shot on target for Sundowns. Grant Kekana. Koza again. Mokoena. Lunga from Saleh. Lunga escapes. There was a little niggle on the Zimbabwean as well as a free kick to Sundowns.
He's got the luxury to search more forwards, not put under pressure. Divine Lunga. That's why he's camping that Magesi half.
The tail of the tape. Magesi won, Mamelodi Sundowns won. It will still be, I suppose, historic in some way.
That happens when the positioning wasn't right. You commit such a foul.
Chibuzeze looking for a little bit more protection. Mokoena no doubt would fancy himself from the situation. Wonder if he try something direct into the top left-hand corner.
You can't write that off. That's definitely what he's going to try and go and do. I always challenge him. He says, "No, just be patient. It's coming. I've scored a few."
Belinda and Mokoena. Belinda does a dummy run. Mokoena. Ribeiro. Bit of defending done by Wonderboy Makubu. Free header! Lots of jerseys in the colour of yellow in the penalty area. And Peter Shalulile grabs the goal. High corner.
Was it offside? It looks beautiful. The offside wasn't naked to the eye.
Saleh is unhappy. Shalulile hardly ever complains, really. He just had a little conversation with the assistant referee on the near side.
Let's have a look at this. Was there an offside? So far, no. Is there an offside still? So far, no. Is there an offside still?
No chance.
I think.
Not from when the ball left the foot.
I think by the time it got to him, he might have been offside. But the assistant, I always say, is nearer the action. We'll have a look at it once more. Controversial moments.
Peter Shalalili denied a goal. Very, very crucial decision taken by assistant referee on the near side, Cledwin Baloy.
We'll have a look at it once more because I'm sure it's gotten people talking.
Well, I don't think that Sundowns were offside when the ball left the foot of the attacking player.
We'll have a moment.
Moza Lebusa. Knocked away by Buthelezi. They'll try again. Looking for Sales. Magesi FC looking to make a substitution in a first appearance of the season for Magesi after only having played once off the bench for Sekakuni United. Letlhal or Mchali. He's a holding midfielder. It's going to come on for Tepo Kakora. So just taking their foot off the accelerator maybe a little bit here, Magesi FC, and is protection of the points going to pay dividends for Magesi FC tonight. I thought that Tepo Kakora has played pretty well in his box-to-box role. A little bit enthusiastic in the challenge on the occasion. Lebusa to Alende. Lebusa to Koza. Matthews swapped sides now from the right to the left-hand side, leaving Lucas Ribeiro free, the goal scorer. Koza. Magesi 1, Sundowns 1.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, 10 minutes in stoppage time. Koza looking a bit enthusiastic. Kakana. It's a foul from Rodemeyer.
They will try by all means to put pressure on Magesi in their own half, force them to make mistakes. Bit of a trick and a situation there when he forces the opponent to foul him, Grant Kekana. He gets the foul and the heavy artillery joins in.
Anxious moments for Elvis Chipezeze. Sales on the near post. Ribeiro looking to make it count, as he did with that marvellous shot leading to the equaliser. Sales gets there first. Good defending from Samuel Dopo.
Had to do his best. Ball in swing, always tricky for defenders. Kept his eyes on the ball, Sales. Up against the paw. He made the contact, Sales, therefore good decision, no corner there.
Still level at 1-1, and if 3 minutes are added on to the end of the second half in this Betway Premiership encounter, we will still have 10 minutes remaining, and it's plenty of time. Yeah, one could say, well, plenty of time, and we haven't had more than one goal apiece in 82 minutes. But yeah, with tired legs and better organisation, one of these two sides could snatch something, maybe on the counter-attack, maybe with flair from Divine Lunga. Sales manages to pirouette himself out of a moment of trouble. Mokwena, ambitious. Don't think he quite had the balance.
He knows He's got a collage of those type of goals that he's scored. He knows in this instance he should have done better, at least hit the target by his standards. But hey, it happens to the best. There's another change Sundowns are going to be making pretty soon.
John McConey's had a good match tonight. Nice little tickle inside to Makupela with the ball nicely headed away by Koza in front of Wonderboy Makubu. But this is a nice little attack from Magesi FC, and we haven't seen too many of those since the equaliser from Ribeiro that came 20 minutes ago already. Mokoena, Kakana, Koza. Mamelodi Sundowns still trying to organise themselves into a position where they can score a winning goal. As I said, they hadn't conceded a goal since the cup final. Kakana, Alente, Koza, Lepusa. It all looks very fluid, very promising from Mamelodi Sundowns. It's in the final third where it's just not quite happening. I tell you what, in the introduction of Sales, I think, has made a massive change to the way Mamelodi Sundowns have played, and certainly his touchdown to Ribeiro led to the equaliser. Lebusa could have been problematic, but Onyango showing his experience as well. Koza. Koza to Ribeiro. Allende, Ribeiro. Sales! I thought he was going to pull the trigger. Well, it's gone in, and that is rather incredible. It didn't look like it was going anywhere near the goal, but it does. Matthews puts Mamelodi Sundowns in front with 4 minutes of stoppage time remaining. Opportunist goal, and Matthews with his second contribution of the season in the Betway Premiership. Scored in a 4-1 win against Marumo Gallants on the 24th of September. Bitter disappointment for Owen De Gama, but they have been pushing very, very hard indeed in the second half. Mamelodi Sundowns.
He gets it right. There will be question marks in terms of the goalkeeping. Nothing wrong with the shot. You're not taking away anything. The rotation of the ball was perfect. Setting it up, even exquisite.
Was it deflection?
I think there was. Let's have a look at it once more. I think it does take a bit of a deflection. We'll have a look at this angle.
Yeah,
yes, it does.
Came off the head of Abrahams.
Yeah, unlucky. Unlucky. But hey, if you don't go fishing, what are the chances of you profiting?
Own goals and penalties come from pressure, and there's been no shortage of pressure coming from Mamelodi Sundowns in the second half. Matthews, 22 minutes after the goal from Ribeiro, scores potentially what could be the winning goal, as we saw from Abrahams for Magesi in the cup final late in November.
That's the mentality. That's the mentality by Mamelodi Sundowns. The winning mentality, grafting results when things are tough, making substitutions in the second half that had to impact the game. And that's exactly what has been happening. They sat back and invited Sundowns, credit to Sundowns for the changes they've made. They had an impact, and they've got something to show for it.
Away by Mokoena. Time running out here for Magesi. Ribeiro bursting forward. That'll be a free kick with a foul on Rodamaya. Butusi Albas is going to come on for Peter Shalolile. Instead of the initial change, it was going to bring on Letlaku. But with the goal that's come from Mamelodi Sundowns in the time that coach Jose Cardoso had initiated the substitution, and when it's made, I think it's the right call. It's not parking the bus, but it certainly is giving a little bit of an additional spot of defensive work for the former TX Galaxy player to contribute to for Sundowns' success tonight.
They want to control the situation now. It's all about keeping possession. And this man that is coming on, Aubas, alongside Mokoena, they are going to control situations.
In the meantime, Gift Matupa is going to come on for Caden Rodamaya. Fourth time as a substitute in the Betway Premiership this season, the 30-year-old former Mamelodi Sundowns player. Lots of animation suddenly from Jose Cardoso. Ball headed away by Mosa Lebusa. Now another opportunity for Matthews. He's already scored one. Great save. Chipezeze. Just by the utter end of his fingertips. Mukubu trying to turn.
They made substitutions that have had a huge impact in the game and in turning things around Sundowns. And you look at the pace, the tempo, the control here. Give it credit as well to Chipezeze, bailing out the team. That's a good save.
Five minutes added on to the end of this encounter at the Peter Mokaba Stadium in Polokwane, and what looked as if it could be a fabulous history-making evening for Magesi at half-time with that goal from Wonderboy Mokubu, who turned around in the second half. And one has to give a lot of credit to Jose Cardoso and the substitutions he made, Brian. Arthur Salas, for me, the most crucial of that. And Matthews benefiting from space and a deflected goal from Delano Abrahams. They all count at the end of the day. Already had a minute of the 5 that was added on by referee Mgluli. So Mamelodi Sundowns to stretch their lead ahead of Orlando Pirates to 6 points, although Pirates will have a game in hand. It's a foul by Mokoena. Lady Vandala, the victim.
You know, that kind of challenge where you're saying it is necessary even though it is illegal. That's Mokoena because of the position where he was. They're going to be exposed. They look vulnerable at the back.
Second ball to Lady Vandala. Still space in the penalty area. Abrahams. Sundowns with possession will just calm things down. I fancy. Nobody really over the halfway line. Soles gets there eventually. Sundowns just will compose the second half of time added on, because there is 2.5 minutes still remaining. It'll be a hard fought. 3 points for Mamelodi Sundowns, but a very valuable one as well at the start of 2025 and their campaign in the Betway Premiership that continues. Just to tell you that Magesi will be up against SuperSport United on Tuesday here in the old Peter Mokaba Stadium in the Nedbank Cup. Mamelodi Sundowns will be at home. Oh, there's a little bit of argy-bargy. Darpo exchanging punches, and tell you what, Lunga dealt out a very nice straight right there, but it's not what you want to see on the football field. Saleh is trying to calm things down. Alende,
there's a red.
And a straight red card.
I think there can't be any mistake.
Now that, I think, I'm not sure if that's gone to Divine Lunga or it's gone to Lechlan Holm Charlie.
I think it's going to Divine.
I think it's gone to Divine. If it's a second yellow to Divine Lunga, then that's why he would be sent off. Referee with yellow card in his hand. And it's a sort of messy end to a match that doesn't really deserve it. Another red card. Who's that to now? Is that to Makoni? Looks like Lechlan Holm Makoni or Samuel Darpo.
Yeah.
Darpo is off.
He started the thing.
And I think Divine Lunga's off as well. Well, that's unfortunate. It's been a better match than to end in this fashion. Lunga still protesting his innocence, but he's got to go. He'll miss the next couple of matches. We were just talking about Mamelodi Sundowns match on Saturday against Sibanye Golden Stars, and one has to go back to that Power Lines FC match in Kimberley that they won 26-0. Zimbabwean sent off here. The Ghanaian holding midfielder for Magesi sent off as well. Yeah, I don't know what orchestrated that little flurry of punches, but yeah, certainly not appreciated by the match referee. Both sides reduced to 10. Samuel Darpo won't play against SuperSport United. They won't play against Richards Bay FC. For Divine Lunga, no chance of playing against Sibanye Golden Stars or against TX Galaxy. Those are the next couple of matches for both sides. The 5 minutes added on by the referee have elapsed.
Displayed their class. I think the turnaround was in the second half. The changes that the coach made, which impacted on the game. I also think that, like as you said, back defended too deep, invited Sundowns, and they got punished for that.
Now the coach seems to be happy. You can see Jose Cardoso chatting to the fourth official, Olani Quinda, and Owen de Gama flapping his arms about. 6 minutes have elapsed in the second half stoppage time. Long throw-in for John Makoni. Is it to be even further later drama here at the Peter Mokaba Stadium in Polokwane? Ball given away by Magesi FC. No chance for Ribeiro. And still no final whistle from referee Eugene Mpluli. Well, there's a lot of tension out there and certainly a lot of emotion, no doubt. And John Makoni easily away by both Ribeiro, but before that, Grant Kekana, Chipizeze shepherding the ball away from Sales, pushes the Zimbabwean goalkeeper to ground, but I don't think any damage done from the Brazilian or to the Brazilian. Magesi FC looking for an equaliser. Charlie looking for Delano Abrahams. Both teams down to 10 men. Mamelodi Sundowns trailed at half-time. But the substitutions made by Jose Cardoso made the difference, I feel, at the end of 90 minutes. And goals from Ribeiro and Matthews extend Mamelodi Sundowns' lead and their unbeaten run in the Betway Premiership since the loss against Magesi in the Cup final. To 5 matches, 5 wins, 9 goals scored, 1 conceded, 6 points ahead of Orlando Pirates, who have a game in hand. It's been some good performances tonight. Lechlan